Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are talking about hydroponic farming. Hydroponics is a type of horticulture and a subset of hydroculture which involves growing plants, usually crops, without soil, by using water-based mineral nutrient solutions in aqueous solvents. Terrestrial or aquatic plants may grow with their roots exposed to the nutritious liquid, or in addition, the roots may be mechanically supported by an inert medium such as perlite, gravel, or other substrates. Please help us grow our channel by typing the word subscribed in the comment section below. Despite inert media, roots can cause changes of the rhizosphere pH, and root exudates can affect rhizosphere biology and physiological balance of the nutrient solution by secondary metabolites. Transgenic plants grown hydroponically allow the release of pharmaceutical proteins as part of the root exudate into the hydroponic medium. The nutrients used in hydroponic systems can come from many different sources, including fish excrement, duck manure, purchased chemical fertilizers, or artificial nutrient solutions. Plants are commonly grown hydroponically in a greenhouse or contained environment on inert media, adapted to the controlled environment agriculture process. Plants commonly grown hydroponically include tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, strawberries, lettuces, and cannabis, usually for commercial use, and Arabidopsis thaliana, which serves as a model organism in plant science and genetics. Hydroponic cultures lead to highest biomass and protein production compared to other growth substrates, of plants cultivated in the same environmental conditions and supplied with equal amounts of nutrients. Since hydroponics takes much less water and nutrients to grow produce, it could be possible in the future for people in harsh environments with little accessible water to grow their own food. The earliest published work on growing terrestrial plants without soil was the 1627 book Sylva Sylvarum, or A Natural History, by Francis Bacon, printed a year after his death. As a result of his work, water culture became a popular research technique. In 1699, John Woodward published his water culture experiments with spearmint. He found that plants in less pure water sources grew better than plants in distilled water. By 1842, a list of 9 elements believed to be essential for plant growth had been compiled, and the discoveries of German botanists Julius von Sachs and Wilhelm Knopp, in the years 1859, 1875, resulted in a development of the technique of soilless cultivation. To quote von Sachs directly, in the year 1860, I published the results of experiments which demonstrated that land plants are capable of absorbing their nutritive matters out of watery solutions, without the aid of soil, and that it is possible in this way not only to maintain plants alive and growing for a long time, as had long been known, but also to bring about a vigorous increase of their organic substance, and even the production of seed capable of germination. Growth of terrestrial plants without soil in mineral nutrient solutions was later called solution culture, in reference to soil culture. It quickly became a standard research and teaching technique in the 19th and 20th centuries and is still widely used in plant nutrition science. Around the 1930s, plant nutritionists investigated diseases of certain plants, and thereby observed symptoms related to existing soil conditions such as salinity. In this context, water culture experiments were undertaken with the hope of delivering similar symptoms under controlled laboratory conditions. This approach, forced by Dennis Robert Hoagland, led to innovative model systems, green algae Nutella, and standardized nutrient recipes playing an increasingly important role in modern plant physiology. In 1929, William Frederick Gericke of the University of California at Berkeley began publicly promoting that the principles of solution culture be used for agricultural crop production. He first termed this cultivation method aquaculture, created in analogy to agriculture, but later found that the cognate term aquaculture was already applied to culture of aquatic organisms. Gericke created a sensation by growing tomato vines 25 feet (7.6 meters) high in his backyard in mineral nutrient solutions rather than soil. He then introduced the term hydroponics, water culture, in 1937, proposed to him by W.A. Despite initial successes, however, Gericke realized that the time was not yet ripe for the general technical application and commercial use of hydroponics for producing crops. He also wanted to make sure all aspects of hydroponic cultivation were researched and tested before making any of the specifics available to the public. Reports of Gericke's work and his claims that hydroponics would revolutionize plant agriculture prompted a huge number of requests for further information. Gericke had been denied use of the university's greenhouses for his experiments due to the administration's skepticism, and when the university tried to compel him to release his preliminary nutrient recipes developed at home, he requested greenhouse space and time to improve them using appropriate research facilities. While he was eventually provided greenhouse space, the university assigned Hoagland and Arnunn to re-evaluate Gericke's claims and show his formula held no benefit over soil-grown plant yields, a view held by Hoagland. Because of these irreconcilable conflicts, Gericke left his academic position as professor in 1937 in a climate that was politically unfavorable and continued his research independently in his greenhouse. In 1940, Gericke, whose work is considered to be the basis for all forms of hydroponic growing, published the book, Complete Guide to Soilless Gardening. Therein, for the first time, he published his basic formula involving the macro and micronutrient salts for hydroponically grown plants. As a result of research of Gericke's claims by order of the director of the California Agricultural Experiment Station of the University of California, Claude B. Hutchison, Dennis Robert Hoagland and Daniel Israel Arnunn wrote a classic 1938 agricultural bulletin, The Water Culture Method for Growing Plants Without Soil, one of the most important works on solution culture ever, which made the claim that hydroponic crop yields were no better than crop yields obtained with good quality soils. Ultimately, crop yields would be limited by factors other than mineral nutrients, especially light and aeration of the medium. In the introduction to his standard work on hydroponics, published 2 years later, Gericke pointed out that the results published by Hoagland and Arnunn in comparing the yields of experimental plants in sand, soil and solution cultures were based on several systematic errors. These experimenters have made the mistake of limiting the productive capacity of hydroponics to that of soil. Comparison can be only by growing as great a number of plants in each case as the fertility of the culture medium can support. For example, the Hoagland and Arnunn study did not adequately appreciate that hydroponics has other key benefits compared to soil culture, including the fact that the roots of the plant have constant access to oxygen and that the plants have access to as much or as little water and nutrients as they need. If you like this video, please subscribe, like and hit the notification bell to receive our future content as it is released. Thanks for watching.